So before people get too nervous about that idea, we're not necessarily saying only work with a handful of customers. I mean, there are markets that you can serve that you deliver a tremendous amount of value to, or can, that might be quite large, actually. But the thing that the mistake that a lot of businesses make is, let's say you are a remodeling contractor or a service business like an accountant or something. And, the belief is, well, anyone who has a home or anyone who needs to do taxes, for example, is a potential client. And so, the way we talk about our business then is that, anybody who needs accounting, we're an accountant, come and get it. And what we want to, what typically happens is, we go into a business and we say, okay, let's rank your clients by profitability. That's step number one. And what we typically end up finding is somewhere around the top 20% of their clients produce the most revenue and profit. And somewhere around the bottom 20 or 30%, they're probably losing money on. So that exercise all of a sudden, really helps people understand, gosh, we shouldn't be, we definitely need to say, here's who we work with and here's who we don't work with. You don't have to say it in terms quite like that, but by defining who you can get a great result for, then you necessarily kind of keep people who aren't going to be a good fit away. So that's step number one. And then we start really we take that group of profitable clients and we start looking at, is there anyone in that group that actually refers business to you as well? And we really want to take that dynamic of your most profitable customers who already are having a great experience. They're evangelists. They like what they're doing. You're clearly getting them a lot of value, or they wouldn't be referring you. If we can figure out then the common characteristics of that group, that in many cases allows us to narrow our focus. So a lot of times when people think of niche, they think of, oh, it's a certain industry that I work with, or, I only work with chiropractors or something like that. And what my term is, I mean, there certainly are a lot of businesses that can just work with a certain industry, or maybe an executive coach works only with women, for example. I mean, those are legitimate ways to kind of narrow your focus. But within whatever niche you pick, then what we discover is that there are certain values, there are certain behaviors that you're looking for that really make somebody an ideal customer. Because if somebody understands, what you do that's different, and understands, how you get people value, that you're not going to compete on price as much. It really becomes an expectation that they're going to pay a premium to work with you. So it's not really just saying I'm only going to work with a certain industry. In fact, for my entire career, we work with many, many different types of industries, but we work with a certain type of business owner who believes that marketing is an investment, that believes in that there's value in strategy. And we work with those folks, and we attract those folks by communicating that message. I mean, if anybody who's read my books, is probably not going to come to me and say, "Oh, that's great, but we just want you to do social media." I mean, they're clearly going to come to, if they call us, they've already got somewhat of an educated point of view about how we see marketing, and so they're going to be a good fit.
Great answer. Honestly, different one, because if that is true, each time you say to someone, you need to niche down, oh yeah, I need to work only with dentists or only with lawyers. And that's the first step, but not the main step. Okay. One question.
Well, let me just add on that. It needs to be lawyers of a certain type, for example, or lawyers that are trying to accomplish a certain, type of growth. Where a lot of people make mistakes is that they look at the market and say, where's the opportunity for me as a business? But if you actually start looking at your clients the way I'm suggesting, you'll start looking at clients and saying, who can I deliver the most value to? I mean, who's a good fit for what I do, not who's a good fit for my business.
So you mean that to define those criteria, you work on an actual customer basis, correct?
Yeah.
You don't start from scratch. You analyze your current customers and you identify. Yeah.
I mean, obviously there are people just starting out. They've got to do something. They've got to guess maybe at who makes an ideal customer. But yeah, we spend we spend a lot of time as part of our process interviewing our customers' customers.
Mm.
We look at their Google reviews, for example, because there are clues in those interviews and clues in those Google reviews
That's a very good point.
about what people truly value about what you do, and it's probably not what you're saying on your website. So we really get some great core messaging ideas from that.